James Bell of the Boxing Source here with another video, and this video is to follow up on what I was talking about a few days ago in reference to the rematch for the WBC Heavyweight Championship, Deontay Wilder and Wilder-Ortiz. Seems like now they are trying to solidify this particular fight with the date being on November 23rd, and the city that it will be in is Las Vegas. So you'll have that WBC Heavyweight Championship between Deontay Wilder, who has an undefeated record, against Wilder-Ortiz, whose sole loss up to this point was to Deontay Wilder on March 3rd, 2018 at the Barclays Center. And it will be on November 23rd, and seems like a formal announcement of this particular fight will happen this month, where we will get all the details as to what site will host the fight card of the event and other details. And just having a little take on it, it's pretty much about time that they have done this. We did basically get the announcement that Deontay Wilder was going to fight Wilder-Ortiz back in May 30th, and that it has pretty much been on the cards since then. They originally were trying to see if they could have the fight on September 28th, but that wasn't necessarily the case. And now it seemed like it was up in the air as far as like what the exact date would be, because they pushed it from September over to November. And so now you just needed a solidified date, and with November 9th being out of the cards, now it's going to be November 23rd. In reference to this particular fight in itself, I have spoken on it on the Boxing Source radio show. Think around, touched on it on the Labor Day episode. I said that Deontay Wilder would be, highly favored in this particular fight, in this rematch. I don't see Wilder-Ortiz becoming much better than he had been in the first fight. That he is on the decline, and I've seen that in his performances against Travis Kaufman back on December 1st of last year, and then his latest fight where he fought Christian Hammer. Because, if people are talking about him being a top fighter within the top 5 or 6 or so, he should be able to blow out these opponents that he has faced, Travis Kaufman, and even with Christian Hammer, being somebody that has been ranked within the top 15, the top 20 or 25 in the heavyweight division. If Wilder-Ortiz is supposed to be as good as a lot of people say that he is, then he should be able to blow out guys like that. But he had that late knockout against Travis Kaufman last December, and then in his last fight against Christian Hammer, that fight went to a decision. So that kind of like tells me that he is pretty much on the decline. And coming off the first fight that Wilder and Ortiz had, the first 3 rounds was basically Deontay Wilder filling out Wilder-Ortiz, leaving his left hand out, pawing out with his left hand, and Wilder-Ortiz trying to get to the inside of Deontay Wilder with not much success at all. And once Deontay Wilder increased his punch activity a little bit, that's when he was able to get to Wilder-Ortiz and then score a knockdown then. But later on down the fight, you did have Deontay Wilder kind of like tired down a little bit, and that's when Ortiz was able to catch him before getting him in a little bit of trouble there. And then, of course, you had the whole thing about the referee calling a timeout before the start of the next round for Deontay Wilder to get checked, and we all know about the controversy with that. But other than that, I pretty much saw it as a fight where Deontay Wilder pretty much controlled the pace of that fight, and I kind of see the same thing here. But I think that he'll increase his activity and try to go for a first round knockout um, with Wilder-Ortiz because he has the much longer range, and if he pretty much threw his punches at full extension, then there's little to no way that Wilder-Ortiz should be able to get to him. So I see Deontay Wilder hurting Wilder-Ortiz and getting the early knockout and having Wilder-Ortiz pretty much cash out, and that'll be his last fight. And that's my initial thoughts on this fight. But like I said, they'll have the announcement about Wilder-Ortiz rematch November 23rd, and you'll get the details on the site and what network it will be on. But other than that, that's pretty much it in reference to this particular topic. You can subscribe to the Boxing Source here on YouTube and catch the Boxing Source radio show Sunday 7:30 live on Blog Talk Radio, or catch the podcast if you have iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.